Good evening. This is a Theresa Crabtree message sent on September 2nd. This is a message from the Masters, the Celestial Gathering. It goes, "Greetings, dear ones. We are again ecstatic for this time to be with you. Whenever you reach out to us for assistance, you open more doors to wonderful possibilities than you can imagine. We know the times are troubling and many of you are struggling past the point of feeling overwhelmed. However, be of good cheer, for we are near. Whenever you reach for help outside of duality, you open new doors of possibilities towards bringing in more divine love into your being. We stream this energy continuously, for it abounds all around you. There is nothing else but divine love in the truest sense. However, we know these understandings are not known to most of mankind, for each has created so many blocks due to the energies that currently abound on Earth. Know that these dark energies are a result of many eons of human choices that have led away from one spiritual connection to the source of all. This is a result of God's greatest gift, free will. Yet while experimenting with this gift, many choices have led humans further down the spiral of negativity. That is why we are here with you today, to help you pull yourself out of that spiral and change the momentum towards an upwards positive flow. You each have the ability to ascend out of duality in this lifetime. This is a lifelong process that happens one step at a time. For those who are diligent, the rewards are great, for you begin to see things from a new perspective. When one's eyes are wide open, it is much easier to walk around the stumbling blocks and to discern what is harmful or unnecessary distraction. This means one must begin to see things from a more expanded view rather than the limited vision of human sight. Each of you reading this is coming from one of two perspectives. Either you have had many lifetimes on Earth and chose to reincarnate to help clean up the old energies you left behind, or this is your first time incarnating on Earth. And you chose to come here at this time to help clean up the old energies others left behind. Whichever history you have, the role is the same, to enhance the energies on Earth right now. Whether it was your lifetime or others who implanted the negativity, the past is not what is important. The future will be created by choices in the current moment. The only time you can create anything is in the current moment. You may have some goals for the future, but do not hold tightly onto them, for there are many breaths in between, and with each breath, you may find a more interesting choice to consider. We say this to remind you to stay in the current moment. When you are tuned in with your higher self and your specialized team of spirit helpers, you will find it much easier to navigate your human life. Too many are lost because they become overwhelmed with all the darkness on Earth, and we understand, for we too grieve for those who are in pain. Many of us have walked the same path as you. Yet, when you look around without hooking into the negative energy, you'll begin to see that each person is creating their own chaos. There may be others who are damaging them, but how one responds to the actions of others is what will determine the path of each one of you. Thus, we cannot overemphasize how important it is to unplug as much as you can from the chaos. It is needful to pay attention to your own energy field and to create as much self-love as you can so that you do not draw these energies unto yourself. Anything that is less than true, unconditional love has no value for those who have the aspiration to anchor divine love while on Earth. Let me read that again. Anything that is less than true, unconditional love has no value for those who have an aspiration to anchor divine. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Anything else is a distraction. Thus, pay attention to your passions. If you are meant to be an activist, then choose your chosen area of concern and bring forth solutions while maintaining inner peace. If activism is not your calling, then avoid focusing on the negativity and, by all means, stop spreading information that you have not thoroughly researched. Those of you who continue to mindlessly share misinformation will reap what you sow. You're responsible for every thought you focus on, every word you utter, and every action you take, as well as every inaction you choose not to avoid. Your role at this time is of much importance than you understand. If those who came to anchor inner peace, and reach higher levels of divine love do not follow through with their roles, the earth will come to a miserable end. This is not a time to sit on the fence and wallow in one's past. There are billions of humans doing this, but this was not your chosen path. You do not have to wring your hands wondering what your role is. Start right now, in this moment, to dedicate every thought, word, and action towards something that is of higher mind, a higher being, with thoughts of, how can I do better right now? Then take action in that direction each moment. Of course, there will be times where you fall back into old patterns, but do not dwell there. As soon as you realize you are off course, simply make a better choice in that moment. Spend no time berating yourself for past choices. Instead, see them as learning experiences. Be grateful for the experience because it was enough to help you awaken towards a higher calling. Then refocus back to creating you in the image and likeness of God, which is a creative energy being who allows others to express their free will. Yet God does not partake of what is not love. Only love. Thus, you can do the same. Focus on what is loving and allow others to express as they will. If their choices of not love are not what you wish to experience, then change the way you interact with this person. This can happen by choosing withdrawal or limiting one's time with this person, or anchoring yourself as an ambassador of love by standing in your truth while anchoring inner peace. If you can't anchor your inner peace at this time, then withdrawal may be a better solution. We know this is a tall order, but many of you now or in the past have wondered what your calling is. Now you have it, plain and simple. It matters not how you make the money you need to exist in this world. It matters not what you do with your free time or how you interact with others. Each of these are expressions of your free will. However, as we mentioned, you will reap what you sow, so choose your seeds wisely. If you are in a situation in which you can't gain inner peace, then perhaps it is time to walk away as gracefully as possible. This may mean making a big life choice. But if your life is already a mess, then what have you got to lose? You have much to gain by staying in these situations, but what you will gain is more of the same. Don't expect things to magically change if you aren't making any changes within yourself. Yes, we know others may have their magical awakenings, but waiting around in hopes this will happen is not the best way to live. In this case, one gives their power away while playing a waiting game that may never manifest. You cannot change others, only plant seeds. If the seeds you are planting have any type of expectation attached to it, then you are holding yourself hostage to a possibility that may not result in your best interest. This is not divine love in action. This is a symptom of conditional love. Stretch your wings and fly above. You may have to prune and pluck a few feathers first, but once you begin to soar and see the bigger picture, you will never want to lower your standards again. Be love always, always. Metatron and the Masters, dictated by Theresa Crabtree. TheresaCrabtree.com. Please consider joining us for future celestial gatherings as we gather to help anchor more divine love within ourselves and globally to all Earth's inhabitants. Aho.